The Ogun State Governor, Abeokuta, has assured residents affected by the flash flood that ravaged some parts of the state capital of government's assistance. He was speaking in Abeokuta, the state capital, while leading members of the State Executive Council for an on-the-spot assessment of the level of damage done. The governor, while asking residents to desist from indiscriminate refuse disposal, however, called on the federal government to come to the aid of the state, as the magnitude of the havoc may be too much for his state to bear.
We'll continue to make sure that we'll see necessary relief that we should give to our people, but a lot of things that we have to fix now, and we will probably not be in a position to quickly do that on our own as a state. So what we will do is to escalate it to federal government and see whatever help that they can render to us. But let me thank all our people in Ogun State. Everybody, I understand that everybody rose to the occasion, everybody helped, and we will still going around to see the extent of the damage. We have gone around since I came. We will still go around. Professionally and technically, we are going to get all our engineers to come and see area of where we can improve upon. Many. We are going to do massive channelization now. We need it now. We've done quite a lot we've done, but we will improve on what we've done. We are going to expand some of it. We are going to extend some of it by way of the length, even the width. We are going to expand, even the height. All of those we are going to do now.
Captains of industry, especially in the banking and online payment sector, have joined the management and staff of Pt.3 Limited to launch a crowdfunding platform called Quick Raise into the Nigerian fundraising market with the best technology and security architecture. Speaking at the launch in Lagos, the chairman of Pt.3 Limited, Mr. Adedeji, said that the platform can be used for emergency disaster support, medical funding and political fundraising, among others.
The launch comes with several sparks of entertainment. The Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of Quick Raise, Mr. Abeokuta, takes the attention of the audience as he speaks glowingly about the platform and its operational features.
In realization of the difficulties experienced by the populace to engage in philanthropic activities, created as a channel to ease the process of the philanthropy and to encourage Nigerians to share in the plights and joys and of loved ones, victims of disasters and other persons in need of support or relief. That channel today, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, is the product Quick Raise. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as we unveil this product today, the anxiety of having no support at critical points in our lives is being eliminated.
It is therefore my greatest honor to invite you to join me in the unveiling of the biggest and multipurpose crowdfunding platform in Nigeria.
Quick Raise is partnering with technology firm InterSwitch and an array of financial institutions, including Access Bank, to provide a seamless experience. It is described as the first of its kind in Nigeria to accept donations at zero cost to donors. Quick Raise is set to lead the market by setting a new standard and consistently delivering sustainable, innovative interventions that will create economic development.
The family of the late female corps member who was shot by a police officer in Abuja have vowed to bring those responsible for her death to justice. The late Nkechi Igwetu was killed in the early hours of July the 4th by a policeman who opened fire on a vehicle she was riding, leaving her critically wounded. Our correspondent Linda Kigwe reports.
Lively, kind, and down to earth are just few of the words relatives used to describe the late Nkechi Igwetu. The 24-year-old was a geography graduate from the University of Lagos and was undergoing the compulsory National Youth Service Scheme in Abuja. On July 4th, Nkechi Igwetu was shot dead by a policeman on her way to a party with some friends in the central area in Abuja, a day to her passing out of a compulsory NYSC service. Her family has not come to terms with the pain of her death.
We had a child. She went to the university, graduated in 2016, struggled to serve as is common in Nigeria, concluded her youth service. What you had is that she was shot and she died.
Policemen on stop and search duty.
2 days after the shooting, the FCT Police Commissioner Sadiq Bello held a press conference.
The policeman that opened fire has been arrested. He has been dismissed from the force and arraigned before a court of competent jurisdiction.
Days after the news broke of the killing of the late Nkechi Igwetu, there were allegations that Gariki Hospital, where the victim was taken to, failed to attend to her promptly. But Gariki Hospital has denied the allegation that the deceased was not given prompt attention.
The doctors and the nurses in the emergency room, realizing the gravity of the injury she had received, swung into action to be able to see how they can save the life of this young Nigerian. We actually learned they put in all they could. And in emergencies, Gariki Hospital does not insist on payment before services are offered.
Gariki Hospital made available to Channels Television a copy of the CCTV recording of the day the deceased was brought to the hospital. The CCTV recording shows the victim being brought to the hospital and then taken into a room. However, we cannot see what's happening inside the room, as the hospital says it does not install CCTV cameras inside patients' rooms. What we do see, however, are the two men who brought the victim in the corridors and medical personnel going in and out of the room.
Nigerians are entitled to know.
But the uncle of the deceased is not convinced that the Gariki Hospital did all it could to save the late Nkechi Igwetu.
As regards Gariki Hospital, the impression we have as a family is that if they have attended to her, probably Nkechi wouldn't have died despite the gunshots.
The family of the deceased says it will submit a petition to the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria asking for an investigation to ascertain if Gariki Hospital did all it could to save the late Nkechi Igwetu. But the fun, bubbly Nkechi Igwetu is yet another tragic casualty of excessive force by a police officer. Linda Akibi, Channels Television News.
And in Enugu State, the government has set up a judicial panel of inquiry to unravel the causes of the recent civil disturbances in Ogbozine community in Nkanu West local government area of the state that led to the death of the traditional ruler and the destruction of properties. According to the Enugu Police Command, the late traditional ruler, Stephen Nwatu, was allegedly murdered on the 11th of June by men suspected to be his kinsmen, who have been on the command's wanted list since the incident. The state's deputy governor, Mrs. Cecilia Ezilo, says the committee has 12 weeks to report its findings to the government.
We've already taken charge of the area, and so far we have made arrests. We arrested about 19 suspects, and I'm assuring you that whoever is involved in this heinous crime will not go scot-free. We'll make sure that we bring them to book. And the gang leader, we are trailing him. He can only run, but he cannot hide. And we will make sure that we bring him to justice.
Accordingly, and in pursuant to Section 4.1 of the Commission of Inquiry Law, Cap 24, Revised Laws of Enugu State 2004, the government has constituted the said Judicial Commission of Inquiry into the civil disturbances at Ogbozine Abugo Autonomous Community. The Enugu State government has the confidence that members of the commission will deploy the wealth of experience, knowledge, integrity, as well as their competencies to discharge this task satisfactorily and effectively. The Commission has 12 weeks to submit its report.
Staying in the southeast, electricity supply in a number of states may soon improve given the setting up of an 8-man committee on power sector development by the Governor, Willie Obiano. The committee is charged with developing ideas for steady and sustainable supply and distribution of electricity across the state. During the inauguration ceremony at the Governor's Lodge, Amobia, Mr. Obiano charged the team to ensure proper implementation of plans aimed at realizing the target. And traditional rulers in the Niger Delta region are taking strides towards fostering better relations among different ethnic groups. The Oba of Benin paid a visit to the Olu of Warri in Delta State, where both monarchs highlighted the cultural bonds between the Shekiri and Benin people to promoting unity in diversity.
The Shekiris and the Benins have so many things in common when it comes to culture and tradition. And this is traced back to history, about 1480, when a young prince of the Benin Kingdom left to settle in Warri Kingdom. Despite the geographical demarcation and the deep waters between them, both kingdoms have grown to emerge as a civilizing force which attracts European adventurers, missionaries and merchants alike. This historic visit by the Oba of Benin to the palace of the Olu of Warri sets a reminder of the need to build bridges that will further foster peace and unity. After a display of rich traditional dance steps as well as the presentation of gifts, the Oba of Benin used the occasion to call on Nigerians as well to indulge in activity that will foster peace and development.
This occasion further brings to the fore the close affinity of the Shekiri and Benin people, which should strive to interact closer in order to explore factors that bind us more than those that divide us.
This is the first time the current Benin traditional ruler will be visiting the state since his enthronement, and the second time in history an Oba of Benin will be visiting the Warri Kingdom.
All we're trying to do now is to build those bridges of friendship across the divide, so that we can again begin to establish those common heritage, that I said we cherish so much.
This visit is historical. The bond between the Shekiris and Benin have started again between these two monarchs coming together. The two of them, as you can see, they are peace-loving people. So I believe the Shekiris and Benin will wax stronger again. And once that is there will be a lot of things under development. It creates a lot of harmony among us.
Many hope this will serve as a reminder for peaceful coexistence, not just for both ethnic groups, but for every other ethnic nationality in the country.